So today we are creating our rainbow collage, and we're going to use some really specific instructions today. Our first thing that we always do when we get a new piece of paper, we want to have it the long way, side to side. Not always, but today we're going to have it horizontally. So the long way, side to side. And then in the bottom corner here, we're going to write our name. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and do the same. And you are going to write 1C, little dash, little line, and P. But the different classes obviously have different abbreviations. That's our first step. So our next step, once we have our name on there, we flipped it over. So our name is now on the back of our paper. And today we're going to be creating some ground with the green paper. So the green paper, just watch what I'm doing first. You don't need to be touching anything right now while I'm giving instructions. We're just watching for now. And what we're going to do with our green paper is we want to make some like hilly kind of ground to put at the bottom of our page. So our first step, you guys can start after I'm done showing. Okay, is I'm taking the scissors, and you can see that these scissors work just as well for me as they do for you. So I'm just going to cut, and I'm trying to keep it roughly in the middle, but I can go a little bit one way and a little bit the other way, or if you wanted to make smaller hills, you would just stay roughly in the middle. So then you'll have two sides, and you're going to test out which one you like most. So test it one way, then you're going to flip it over, test it the other way. Maybe you like that one, or maybe you like your other side better. I think I like this side better. I think I like it like this best. So after you've cut it and after you have decided, you're going to be gluing it on. Now it should go, I've measured them so that they go edge to edge, but you might have a little bit of overlap. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it after. So everyone can go ahead and do that. All right. So our next step, once we have that glued down, or once we have that decided, okay, is to glue it down. And with our glue, there's something I really want you to remember with the glue stick. It's that we never put the glue up too high. You'll see that I just have it up the tiniest bit. And that is because if I put it up any higher, when I'm gluing, it sort of smushes the end and it uses way more glue than necessary. So I'm just going to place it around the outside. That's how I usually glue my stuff. So make sure you're watching all of the instructions and you're not doing, you're watching. Okay. And then the very, very important step after I line it up and place it, just slide it over a bit. Looks good. Then I have to hold it for a second. Okay, if I don't hold it for a few seconds, then what will happen is it will just unglue and it will unstick. So that is your next step, getting the bottom, the grass part glued down. Our next step that we have to do, we're going to be working in thinking about a mosaic. So a mosaic is an artwork that is made out of lots of little pieces. Oftentimes they're square, but sometimes they're unusually shaped. Today we're going to work with a square one. And a mosaic is made of individual little tiles, little pieces. Oftentimes they're made out of ceramic, so the stuff that your dishes are made out of for eating. And so I am making some little squares. That is my next step. And I'm only going to cut one color at a time. So right now I am cutting my red because we're all going to use our red first. So we're nice and quiet. Okay. And I'm going to show you, so you have to watch the screen. I'm going to show you how to glue these individual pieces down. So the mosaic, we're going to have it look like a mosaic, and we're going to leave a little bit of room in between each one. And I'm going to show you, you can do your rainbow in two directions. You could do your rainbow going this way. Okay, and we're only going to do the end of the rainbow. It's not the whole rainbow. Or you could start it on this side and have it going this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do, watch carefully. This is how I'm gluing these little pieces on. So I put it on top of my glue stick. I'm going to rub it, and oftentimes I hold with one hand and I'll do this with the other. I usually rub it with my thumb and I just push until it comes off. I slide it off. And my first color, or my first little square, I'm going to put it so that it's behind the hill a little bit. And my next one, I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between it and the next one to give that idea of a mosaic that's made out of individual pieces. And I'll keep gluing these each time, leaving a little bit of room, and I'm starting to make a curve. And I don't want it to curve too much. It's not an arc. It doesn't go all the way over. Okay, it's only going to curve gently and then touch the top of the paper. Now I have measured these strips so that they are the right size, that if you leave a little space in between each one, you should have enough. And some people may find that they have even extra. So as I get closer here, you can see, getting close to the top. Now my last class, a lot of them wanted to stop at that one. But we want our rainbow to look like it continues off the page. So I'm going to make sure that my last one that I do goes a little bit off the page at least. And if you can fit one more, this one actually, you'll see the corner a little bit if I glued it there like that. Okay? So that's how we do our first color, either arced this way, or I have another example here that is arced the other way. So starting this side and going this way. All right. Step before we put our stuff away is we are going to just trim any parts that hang over. And one easy way to do that is to flip it over to the other side and just trim like that. And then, if you look at the good side of my paper, looks all nice and neat. In order to finish up our project today, we are going to make sure that we put away our scraps. And I have made these baskets here that have all of the little bits in them. And you just want to organize them as best you can into their proper colors. And we're also always going to make sure that our lid is on our glue nice and tight, and that we have put our scissors away as well.